I can't do nothing with ya.
What's up, everybody? What is up? How is everybody doing? And I hope that you're doing great on this day. The first thing I want to say to everybody watching is that I'm happy and excited to be sharing a great podcast with you today. And I hope that you learn from it and share it with your friends. We're going to dive deep into a great topic and bring some great things to the table. Hopefully it opens your mind, get you to think about it. Hopefully you can look at it and say, hey, I realize in my life this is something that I see, or maybe this is something that I'm doing that I really want to change. And I hope that this podcast today inspires you in each and every way of your life to understand things about life. But before I give you that topic, I want you to know that today's show is sponsored by our great, lovely friends over at decalworlds.com, a place where you get all your sports merchandise from. If you have not checked out Decal Worlds yet, go ahead and check them out today or throughout your day to go ahead and get your sports merchandise sent to your front door. Well, as you know, I am David, aka Preacher Man, here, the host here on FrazierChronicles podcast. And today I'm going to be talking about something, and that something is work death. Yes, when people die before they retire, before they take that dream vacation, before they pay off that dream home, before they do the things that they desire in their life, that is called work death. They're always working. These are the people you never see take off. They take off because they're sick, but not because they want to do the things that their life desires. And that causes people to have or experience something we call work death. We all have this analogy in our lives. And when we're working, of course, you probably have this analogy when you retire, you're going to go and sit up amongst the sun, and you're going to get up that morning and just go soak out in the sun and sit on your front porch, something you're probably not doing now. You're probably going to take your dream vacation, something you're probably not doing right now. You're probably going to buy your dream car, something you're probably not doing right now. And you're probably talking about paying your dream house off, something you have not done or doing right now. You're probably going to enjoy your friends more. You're probably going to enjoy your family more, right? You're probably going to go to church more if that's what you desire, right? All these things you say you're going to do, all these things you have in mind to do, right? But the reality is, if you're working, you're stressing, and you're not giving yourself time, you will experience something we call work death. I want you to think about it for a minute. What is it that you want to do with your life right now? If you had won the lottery, if you have all the money in the world, what would you be doing right now? What would you be doing? And if you're saying, hey, I'll be taking my dream vacation, if you're saying, hey, I don't know what I would do with my money, it's because you probably have not sat down and thought about what it is you want to do. It's important to know yourself. It's important to know what it is you want. What do you like? What do you like to eat? What makes you happy? What makes you sad, right? You need to know yourself, right? But a lot of people today don't know themselves. All they know is, I want to work. I go to work. I'm scared of being fired. I'm scared of being terminated. I'm scared of losing hours. I'm scared of my boss not liking me. I'm scared of my coworkers not liking me. Well, sometimes in our lives, we have to be more concerned about ourselves, right? Be concerned about you, right? Because all those people that you're worried about thinking bad and negative and all this stuff about you, guess what? Some of them are doing what they want to do with their lives while you wait and while you procrastinate, because you're thinking, well, one day I'm going to retire. Well, I have had the opportunity to see people not retire. And the reason I say the opportunity is because it had helped me at a young age to wake up and to smell the coffee, as we say, and to get my life together, get my ducks in a row, right? I've lost people on jobs. I've lost people in the military when I was doing my time in the military, right? So it opened my eyes to say, we don't have time. I can't wait until I retire to take my dream vacation. I can't wait till I retire to enjoy my family and my friends and all of the people that I hold dear and that are important to me. It taught me that. And I want you to think about all the people right now that you have neglected. Who is that someone in your life that you don't spend enough time with? Who is that someone in your life who um, is playing second fiddle to your job, playing second fiddle to what you say is going to bring you a retirement? And I want you to, if you're saying my job is doing this, if you're saying that I have no choice, I have to work and I have to do this, you can take time off. You can take time off. You don't have to work every day. So something that I want to give to you guys and some reasons on why work death happens. Work death happens because a lot of people feel they don't have enough money to save for retirement. Maybe you're starting late. Maybe you're not putting enough money away. Maybe you just don't know what to do. You're just putting money somewhere and hoping that it will accumulate for a retirement. The high cost of living, as we all know, inflation has happened to each and every one of us, and it sucks. But I don't think we can allow that to cause us to have work death. Inflation in general, all right? Inflation, things going up, and we're not knowing what to do, how to take our lives and adjust to it, right? Low wages, all right? And I say low wages because sometimes we become loyal to jobs over money, right? We're so loyal because our boss is nice or our friends are on the job, right? Where we're too loyal to something that doesn't pay us enough. And this causes work death because now I don't make enough, so I have to continuously work, right? I'm continuously grinding. I'm never taking time off. I'm never spending time with my family. I'm always stressing about bills. I'm always stressing about what things I want to save for, right? And all it becomes is a problem. All it becomes is issues and stress on the body and the mind to make you feel like you don't want to do anymore, right? And it drains you. Your body's not made to be drained like that, okay? I want to keep moving. Pandemic, as we all know that the pandemic came, people lost jobs, retirement decreased. You know, all my retirement accounts, I can say, took some drops, and it happens. But for some, they took a drastic drop, right? Some people lost jobs and had to pull retirement. So that caused a lot of work death. Now, those same people worked so hard and their bodies eventually tapped out, said, hey, it's enough. Life said it's enough, okay? No time away from work caused work death. I seen, at a young age, I see so many older people that I work with just work all their, just work. And I was young at the time. I was in my 20s. And I used to see these people that were in their 50s just working, never took time off, never took time for themselves. I never seen them take a vacation, never seen them take a trip. But if they took off, it's because they were sick or because they had to take care of their grandchild, or it was something that they were doing not for themselves, but for someone else. Okay. So that led to a lot of that. Bills, right? Bills. We all have bills. We all have to pay some type of sort of bill, whether it's a light bill, whether it's the gas bill, whether it's the internet bill, whether it's our Netflix accounts and our Hulu accounts and all these other things that we have to create our entertainments, right? Debt is high, right? Maybe some of you have credit card debt. You're drowning in debt, right? You're taking out personal loans. You're taking out so many loans to make your life become better, or to help you pay for this, pay for that, instead of again going out there and trying to just mitigate and drop some of that. Okay. And I want you to understand, I understand as I'm doing this podcast that a lot of folks out there have to work. And I get it. Your house bill, maybe your mortgage went up because of your taxes. Maybe your rent went up. Maybe you're someone who's renting and your rent was $1,000. Now it's 15. Next year it's going to be 1,700. So I understand all of those and I take those into consideration. But it goes back to the low wages, right? You're being loyal to your job and you're hoping your job becomes loyal to you, but your job is not paying you what you need to live. They're paying you a survival amount, to survive or barely surviving, but they're not paying you to live. Okay, so all of these things are happening in our lives, and they're happening right now. Now, some of you are thinking, yeah, I'm watching. You're thinking now. You're saying, oh, wow, that's my life. Maybe and that's what you're saying. Wow, that's my life. Well, that's my mom's life, my dad's life, my grandma, granddaddy, whoever, aunts, uncles, cousins, nieces, and nephews. You're saying, oh, wow, that's their life, man. All they do is work. And I'm afraid they're going to have work done, right? So if you're afraid of that, make sure you share this podcast with them so that they can get this knowledge and educate themselves on this and obviously open their mind to change and become better. In my opinion, I feel people have become afraid of running out of money before they die. And that's my opinion, and I'm gonna talk about, jobs that I've held. I worked with the North Carolina Department of Public Safety, juvenile justice, at one point in my life. And I realized a lot of people there were older people. They were working there when I was in high school, in middle school. When I was in middle school, high school and all, and they were working there, and they were at the, as I'm working, moving in to work with them, some of them were able to retire, but there was something keeping them from retirement, whether it's their mortgage, whether it's, I don't have enough in my retirement, right? So it's so many different things keeping them working. And I realized that if it wasn't money, it was their mortgage, right? So they're continuously paying money and not being able to save. I also believe that we have a retirement system, something that we call the 401k. Your job has it. I know when I was in the military, they kind of switched to it, and it can be overwhelming type thing, because back then people had something called pensions, right? And a pension was you work for so many amount of years and you save money and all of these things, and at that end you retire and then you're paid a pension, which should be for the rest of your life. But now we have a 401k. It's basically money you put in. Your company might match it, they might not, but whatever money you put in, it builds over time. And as it's building, it's there for you when you retire. But again, so many people are afraid that they will run out. I do feel that work death happens when all a person does is work, right? They never take time off for themselves. Again, if they take time off, it's because they're sick. And this leads to stress, overworking your body, overworking your mind, overworking just everything in your life. And then you experience something we call burnout. Burnout is real. A lot of people are burnt out. They love their jobs when they first started, but they're now becoming burnt out. And this causes your body to stress. When you're stressing your body, your heart is pumping faster and things in your body are just moving at a rapid pace. And your blood pressure is starting to rise. All these things are happening. But because you are more concerned about your job, you're concerned about what everybody at your job is doing, and instead of worrying about yourself. Something that I also looked at, man, and I really talk about this a lot, man, is work death being caused by stress. Stressing over things that you can't control. You're stressing over trips. Well, I want to take a trip, but I don't have this, or I want to do that, but I don't have this. And you become stressed. Do things in your life that doesn't cause you as much stress. If you feel like you want to go on a vacation, maybe you can't go out of state, but maybe you can go to a place in your city or in your state that has a getaway for you, right? And it's about you. So you need to do those things, all right? Because these things kill, all right? And we have, and as a family and as people today, we have to understand the human body. We have to understand when we need a break. And we need to obviously give ourselves a break. Something that I try to do now is hang out with one of my homeboys, or hang out with a family member, or hang out with my family sometimes during each month, right? One is to give yourself time to look forward to something. And then two, it's an opportunity for you to say, or for me to say, okay, hey, I need a break. It's break time. It's time for me to go out, have fun, not think about work, not think about life's problems, not think about what tomorrow's going to bring, but to have fun, live in that moment. Because those things, one, are special, but two, it also helps with your life balance of stressing, to say, okay, I have something to look forward to in the next 2 weeks or next month or whatnot. And something that I want to tell you, listeners out there right now, and I'm glad that you're listening to this show. And before I move on to the next thing, I do want to give a shout out to our sponsors, Decal Worlds, also again, and make sure you go and shop with Decal Worlds. Great sports merchandise shop. We shop with them here. Got tumblers, we have shot glasses, we have all types of things, t-shirts that they sell, all types of things here. So make sure that you go and shop with our sponsor, Decal Worlds. Now I want to move back to what I was going to say before I went to our sponsorship. I feel some people, and I could be wrong, maybe you're watching and this is you, but I feel that some people try to be Superman and Superwoman. Okay, and it can lead to your death. It can lead to your work death because of the stress you keep putting your body through. We're human beings. We are not fictional characters. We're not the Hulk. We're not the Superman. We're not the Batman. We're not all these things that we watch, Marvel and DC. Great stories, great company, great writers, but we can't become those fictional characters that we once watched as young kids, because they were just carrying the world on their back. They were doing all these things for the world, right? And that's what you want to do for your job. But you have to understand that you're going to do all of this for your job, you're going to lose your family. You're going to do all this for your job, you're going to lose your life. You're going to do all this for your job, and the end game is not going to be what you want, right? No, we can't control death, but we don't want to cause things for us to experience it at an early rate in our lives because of things we refuse to do, and that's take care of ourselves. I like to call this right here situation time. All right, or solution time. Had to throw that out there and make sure you're still paying attention. Solution time. All right, say it with me. Solution time. All right, solution time. This is time for us to dive into the solution, right? Because now you watch this and you're saying, well, what is the solution? What do I need to do better? How can I be better? So, solution time. The solution is don't stress over life. That's number one, right? Don't stress over life. Life's going to happen. Things are going to happen. Things are going to be out of whack. We're going to get sick. Kids are going to get sick. Cars might go down. The house might go down. Whatever. We have to understand that this is life. We live in life. We live in an imperfect world, right? Things happen, right? We can't control everything, right? Some things we wish we could control, but we don't have control over it, okay? So the solution is don't stress over life. As we all know, life has its own problems. Remember, take it one day at a time and no need to rush time. I'm going to say that again. Remember to take it one day at a time and don't rush time. Okay? You're here today and you're thinking about the 30-year mark of retirement tomorrow, right? And right now you got to live in the moment, right? You have to balance your life. And I tell anybody that, I think of, and I'm talking about myself. I think of myself a lot when I think of stress, right? I remember, growing up, being young in my 20s, stressing over just going out, right? Going out. I wasn't ready to get off work so I can go out with my friends or whatever I was going to do, right? And now I'm thinking, man, these people, people died at work because they were stressing over the job. They were stressing over, man, I got to be to work on time. I got to be there. And not understanding that life happens, right? There are going to be days you're going to be late to work, right? No one, you show me somebody who's never been late to work, and I might give them an A+, right? Give them a Grammy, right? For being on time and never late to work. You're going to be late to work. You're going to wake up late sometimes. You're not always going to feel like going there, right? And sometimes you're gonna wish that you was on a vacation. But the thing about it is, it's on you. It's on us to make the right decisions for our lives. We cannot always make our boss happy. We can't make our jobs happy because they say, well, we need you in. Every job needs you in. But understand, sometimes you might need a mental health day, right? To get your mind right. It's not saying that you're having crazy thoughts, but you're saying, hey, I have some time. I have a lot of questions and anxiety built up. Let me take some time off for myself. I just need to regroup, right? There's nothing wrong with that. And I think too many people try to make something wrong with it because you're caring about yourself, right? But those will be the same folks you'll see die in the next few years because all they cared about was work, right? They never wanted to go and retire. And people say, well, if I retire and I stop moving, I die. Why are you not taking vacations? Why are you not doing the things you want to do? Wake up and eat your bowl of cereal. Wake up, take care of the yard. Wake up and go just check on the grandkids while they're at school, or whether it's your nieces and nephews, right? Doing those things, right? That really puts you in the motion of saying, okay, I'm bettering myself. I'm not going to work all my life. I'm going to take some time off. I'm going to get to the finish line. But I also understand that during this race, there are going to be times I have to walk. During this race, they're going to be pain in my legs, right? Because this is what life is, it's a race, right? And I'm going to get tired. I'm going to get fatigued. But I need to bounce back, right? During my race, I need to take a break. I need to walk. I need to tell myself I can do it. I need to go and do it, right? So these are things that you need to, these are some of the things you can do in your life, right? This is solution time. When it comes to solutions, right? When we talk money, invest your money in other things, such as real estate, stocks, as well as stocks. They definitely can help can help you with bringing in new revenue, so that you're not having a working day, right? There's a platform out that a lot of people use, or some people are using, called Turo. I use Turo to rent out my van, right? So there's extra income. That's money I can save towards a retirement, or for a trip, or for whatever that I needed to save, right? So I'm showing you things, right? The next thing is take trips, all right? And this is one right here that I'm about to say is more important as well. Have accountability partners who help plan your trips, who help you take time off as well as they self for take time off for your mental health, take time off for your vacations, take time off because, hey, I'm working a lot. I need to take the time off, right? It will help you. Okay, it's enough work that's happening today in society. It's enough of it, and it's happening because we are not taking care of ourselves. If your boss has an issue, tell them, follow FrazierChronicles, because FrazierChronicles has some great advice on how this work environment can be better, right? Because people are taking time off and they're getting their mind right, and they're staying with the company longer because they're able to come in rejuvenated, right? And come in and be able to do the things. And I think that with work death, we as people, we overlook it. We overlook it because we're people that say, my job needs me. Think of this right here. How many of you went to your job and did the interview? And when you went to the interview, that company, that organization was functioning. And then ask yourself, can my job do without me? And if you say no, your reality is false. Your job can do without you. Remember, you were once in that interview. Whether you've been promoted to the highest level, it started out as an entry level, or you moved into the company in one of the middle spots. But remember, you had to interview, and that company was running without you at that particular time. Now, if something happens to you, it will run without you. But don't let it be because of work death. Let it be because you're on vacation. Let it be because you're taking time for yourself. Let it be because of those things. When it comes to retirement, retire. And if you need money, get a part-time job that's flexible. I think everybody is more concerned about the money. I think everybody's concerned about the what ifs, the What if I run out of money? What if I don't have a helpmate? What if I don't have this? You can't worry about tomorrow. As I said earlier in this podcast, right? Remember to take it one day at a time. No need to rush time, right? Everything in our life is gonna happen. It's gonna happen whether we want it or not, whether we want it or not to happen. It's gonna happen. Go and take trips. Go and understand life. It's not just about working. You need a break from work. You need a break from, if you're a coach and doing all these after school activities. You need a break from that stuff. You need an opportunity to spend time with your family who's missing you and you're missing them. You need a break from work if you're never home to see your kid come home from school. Maybe your kid always comes home. They're never seeing you, mom or dad, home. Never seeing you come and take care of them. They're never seeing you do any of those things, right? But all they see is that you work. You're constantly working. You're constantly doing things that to them sometimes they need to see mom and dad. Sometimes they need to see you. They need to see that you're there, that you care, and that you're genuinely wanting to see them successful. I think too many times we see things, right? And too many times we're not giving our time where it needs to go. But I want you to think about this right here. What are you going to change after listening to this episode? What are you going to change? What are you going to do better? Are you going to experience work death? Or are you going to start doing for yourself? Maybe you're thinking, well, when my next day of work, I'll go in the office and tell my supervisor I need time off. Because I need it. I really do have to listen to that podcast. Hopefully this podcast helps you get over that fear of going into that office, of going to submit that I need time off paperwork. All right? I want you to go in that office, and I want you to be able to look that man or woman in the eye and say, I did it. I need time off. And I hope that this helps you. I hope that this inspires you. I hope that you learned a lot from it. As I always do, and I always close out with it to tell you who I am. I'm David, a.k.a. Preacher, here on the FrazierChronicles podcast. I am your host. And you can follow me if you haven't already followed me. You can go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can look us up on Instagram and Facebook and follow FrazierChronicles. Maybe you're just the type that's on your phones. You're always on Spotify and Apple, iHeartRadio. Maybe you're searching up Amazon, right? You're on Amazon. We're on all major podcasting platforms. FrazierChronicles, ladies and gentlemen. Again, thank you for tuning into my episode. Thank you for joining me. And again, remember work death. But the question is that I'm going to leave you with before I drop this episode, right? Before I get out of here, is what are you going to change? What are you going to do different? What's holding you from taking time off? I know you don't want to experience work death. So what is stopping you from going in there to tell your job you need time off? I'm David, a.k.a. Preacher Man, here on the FrazierChronicles podcast. Again, our show today was sponsored and is sponsored by decalworlds.com.